million?
Good morning.
Yes, 13 million.
And for customs?
There's no additional cost to customs other than their operational costs. I mean, this is a federally constructed project through a congressional appropriation. So
Is there other government costs, U.S. or Canadian, at any level other than the $13 million?
no.
I have a question.
I'm sorry, could someone give an answer, please?
No, I mean, that is the cost of the federal
That's
involvement.
total, and there is no Canadian.
No.
So, sir, does that imply $33 million for Bridge Company?
I sure hope not. No, there are other, there's estates involved in plans for a welcome center. There are other private industry involved in plans for the area. We are involved in this plan along with the housing project for the neighborhood. We are involved in the Fiesta Gardens for the neighborhood, as other businesses are investing into. So it is shared by numerous organizations.
Mr. Stanford, while you're up there, I understand your company is going to donate $1 million toward infill housing, correct?
We have committed to creating around 60 new units of housing. And we have committed to investing up to $1 million of our money into it to see that it happens. There is a separate issue of infill housing that we are also involved in support. It is a separate issue.
The 60 units of housing, is that Fiesta Gardens you mentioned?
No, Fiesta Gardens, this should be answered, I think, from some of the community, but the Fiesta Gardens is a park area near the Bagley Street commercial district.
The 60 units of housing, is that the rental housing that Sims Varner is architect for?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
For that news, what's the bridge company's plan for commercial development west of the bridge or in that area in addition to the bridge itself?
Question is, what is the bridge company's plan for commercial development west of the bridge?
We have been in front of City Council and have had that land rezoned, as I think most of us are aware of. But we have no announcements today for the improvements to be done in that area. Again, when we do, we'll be glad to inform the public.
I think one last question. Go ahead. Unless there's...
I'm Brian Cross from the Windsor Star. You're talking about quadrupling traffic. Is that traffic out there? Is it going somewhere else now? Or like you have 7 million vehicles going across your bridge now. If all these facilities were in place today, how many vehicles would be going across?
I believe, are we at capacity now, and what will be the expanded capacity of the bridge?
You told me what your capacity would be, but is that business out there? Where is it going now?
Yes, there is traffic going elsewhere. The question is, if we do not do something in Detroit, we have no means to increase the volume of traffic. The bridge itself has the capacity to increase, and if we don't change the entrance and the exits, it's not going to come to Detroit. And I think the mayor addressed that earlier when he said we are one of the largest volume crossings, the largest commercial crossing, and we want the ability to continue to grow.
I believe that pretty much concludes our session here today. I'd like to thank you all for your kind attention. Lunch will be served, as I indicated, over in the left-hand side here. But before you leave, I'd like to still give you that shot of the Ambassador Bridge that's behind these curtains, so just hang on a second.
think so. What's you asking? I'm willing.
There. That's the Ambassador Bridge, folks.
I think he wants to do a picture of us by the model.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. My name is Darrell Garth. I'm a representative from Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. And I want to initially take this opportunity to thank everybody for coming out and to thank Wallace Jackson on behalf, who's a person that works very closely with the Growth Corporation in the city of Detroit to bring the Shop Your Block program to its full swing as it is today. I just want to mention that initially the program was for 1 weekend. We have a brand new program now. It's a full year, and we're extremely excited about it. The Growth Corporation provides technical assistance, and we do a number of different things as best we can on the staff level to bring these kinds of things to the forefront in the city of Detroit. For those of you who are not familiar with the Growth Corporation, basically our charge is to generate as much economic and community development activity in the city of Detroit. We work very closely with the city as well as private industry to generate economic activity because we all know it's very, very important. One of the things I find that is really crucial as we talk about economic development is to begin to work with the consumers in the city of Detroit as well as with the merchants in the city of Detroit. And one of the best processes that we've generated over the last 8 years, thanks to the mayor, is Shop Your Block. So I'm personally committed to the whole idea of generating monies in Detroit because when we spend monies in the city, it goes into the city coffers, it creates jobs and a tax base, and everybody basically benefits. So with that, again, I bring greetings from the Growth Corporation as well as our partnership with the city of Detroit, as well as to the corporations and other entities that we work with, because we know that it's going to take all of us working together to bring this program to a success. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And next we'll have from National Bank of Detroit, Mr. Clark.
Thank you and good morning. I'd like to start by saying, using an old cliche, that charity begins at home. And I said that to say this, Detroit is the home for MBD. We're going to be around. You're not going to get rid of us. And anything that we can do to help small business makes good sense and is ultimately big business. So that's our involvement. Any programs like these that foster entrepreneurship and small business, retail, we're all for it. So our commitment is to help you grow and become better at what you're doing. And anything we can do to help you, we're here to do so. So on behalf of the bank, I'd like to thank those of you that have asked us to sponsor. We will be active in this program throughout the year and any other programs of that nature. So thank you very much.
And now we'll have Mr. Steve Hegwood from WJLB.
Pleasant good morning, everybody. I am Steve Hegwood from WJLB, the program director. And for those of you who know, WJLB has been involved in the community for over 50 years. This program, last year I wasn't here, this program I understand was very successful last year, and we're very pleased that they decided to expand it this year. Our involvement will virtually be in helping to promote the program and involve our listeners to come out to support the merchants. And we look forward to a very successful year. We have always been very helpful to the local merchants of Detroit, and we look forward to the continued support of all the people and our station.
Thank you, Mr. Hegwood. I think all in all, you know, this idea started, and I remember some years ago, in fact, we had a special kind of hunt activity or something up at New Center. I was up there with the mayor, and it's really remarkable that it's grown now to expand to this level, that we're going to be carrying it practically throughout the year. We are covering more areas of the city, which proves that that this effort has met some results. And if you check out some of the press that's already on it, those numbers that I saw are rather impressive. So we're pleased to see this effort continue. to bring to the attention of our citizens some opportunities for shopping in their own hometown, which they may not know about, and by so doing, trigger all of those events that occur. The merchants and the business people can provide jobs for citizens. They can increase their earning. That increased earning comes to some small part and tax base to the city. The city then has more funds to do the things that it needs to do to provide services in terms of picking up garbage and hiring police officers, etc. So it's that kind of positive circle that helps everybody. So we are pleased to announce it and hope that it's going to continue the success that's already been achieved in recent years. At this point, if you have any questions, we'll try to handle them. Questions on this announcement?
It's been going on for 8 years. Can you just tell me how successful it's been?
Yeah, I saw some numbers. I don't know, Wallace, you want to amplify on, I guess that those figures were authentic.
Well, the primary statistic, if you will, that we look at is consumer traffic. Was that increased in the areas during the promotion, and sales? In that regard, or in those regards, we average about 70% increase in consumer traffic over the last year, and the average in as far as in sales increases are concerned, it averages about 50%. Some more, some reported higher increases, others reported smaller percentage increases. But everybody in the areas made a few dollars more than they ordinarily would do on a given weekend, and consumer traffic in all the areas increased substantially.
In your opinion, what's the benefit of Shoppers Lot here in Detroit?
The benefit is, as Mr. Martin indicated a few moments earlier, that is, we expand the tax base. As these merchants generate cash, they pay money into the city's general fund, and those monies go back to the citizens of Detroit in the form of municipal services. Jobs are also created for Detroiters as merchants are successful in the city of Detroit. When a Detroiter shops in the city of Detroit, he or she helps himself or herself by doing so. The money comes back.
Any other questions?
Could you address the Freedom Pages a little bit more? You said it will be distributed in July. When is it going to print?
When is it going to print? Do we know?
Yes, it will be.
What's the process for how we're going to get people listed?
Well, the principals who are implementing this particular effort are, even as we speak, soliciting listings for that publication. It's my understanding that it is currently being printed, right, some portions of it. It's my further understanding that distribution will begin midsummer. The publication is free to individuals. A discount will be offered for a charge, a small fee. This discount will cost, I believe it's a $10 charge. And if an individual decides to take advantage of the discount, the $10 will afford that individual an opportunity to get a discount of approximately 10% at every store that's listed in the Freedom Pages. And understand that this is Detroit businesses only. Unlike the Yellow Pages or the Ameritech Yellow Pages or the Black Yellow Pages, this is all Detroit businesses in the Freedom Pages.
Can you address the hotline a little bit more too? What type of information will be available to Detroit area concerns?
Well, the hotline is a two-way kind of thing. That is, the merchants phone in or submit information to our hotline folk, and that information is put on the hotline. On the other hand, a consumer can call the hotline, 963-SHOP, by the way, is the hotline number, and find out what's going on in the various participating areas. If there are sales or various kinds of promotions going on, all of that information will be on the hotline.
Is this going to be operational from May through December, or just during those peak free phases?
It's going to be operating throughout the entire promotional period, from May to December, yes.
That's it. Also, on behalf of the mayor, I want to thank all the other citizens and obviously business people who are here to help us kick off this campaign, or to announce it and get ourselves geared up for approximately a month away. Any other questions? Thank you very much.